Hey, everybody out there. This is Dirty D with your Pro Sports Podcast. Today I'm going to be covering the Los Angeles Chargers overall draft grade. This was a draft in which Bleacher Report and I actually weren't too far off as far as our grading process overall. Bleacher Report gave you guys a C plus overall. I gave you guys a C overall. Again, we weren't too far off. There's a couple of holes as far as the unit for the Los Angeles Chargers, excuse me. And those holes needed to be filled by some of these draft picks, and I just don't think there was enough draft capital or draft picks, excuse me, to have filled all the needs and the necessities that this franchise in general is dealing with. So let me go ahead and jump into this, and I'll explain why. I was uh, pretty close to Bleacher Report, but I think uh, why we were both kind of lower on the grading scale needs to be a little needs to be addressed. So I'll start off here with the first round pick, number 6 pick overall, Justin Herbert out of Oregon, quarterback. That was a really good pick because Philip Rivers, as I'm sure Los Angeles Chargers fans know, is out in Indianapolis now, and he is the Colts quarterback. So you definitely needed a quarterback there, and I can see Justin Herbert possibly being a guy that could be there for the next 15 years. So that's a good pick. Then in the first round as well, with the 23rd pick overall, Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. Again, that's not a bad pick. I know um, Davis Sr., the linebacker that they had picked up from uh, Carolina, struggled last year. Um, and I know that in those struggles, that defense wasn't exactly the same as it was and as dominant as it was the year before. So that's a good pickup there. Then you go into the fourth round with the 112th pick overall, and Joshua Kelly, running back at UCLA. That's not a bad pickup there because Melvin Gordon is now with the Broncos. Big ups to Melvin Gordon and big ups to the Chargers for letting him go. Um, that's not a bad pickup, but so part of the reason that Philip Rivers is a Colt now, and part of the reason that Philip Rivers looked as bad as he did last season was the fact that he didn't have enough protection. So with the pick of a running back in the fourth round, that kind of, even if he's the best pass pro running back in the draft, that still leaves a lot to be desired. Then you go into the fifth round with the 151st pick overall, Joe Reed, wide receiver out of Virginia. That's not a bad pickup. I know Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert can use as much help as possible, but again, Justin Herbert can only do so much, and he can only throw the ball if he's upright. In the sixth round, with the 186th pick overall, Alohi Gilman, safety out of Notre Dame. This is one pick right here where I think the grades started getting a little sour and started going a little south, and I think it's representative of just the Chargers in general. They're not the best run organization, I think, in my opinion. Again, Chargers fans, I could be wrong. If you exist, LA Charger fans, please comment and let me know. But I don't. Yeah, I think you're like the Jag fans. I think it's a myth. Um, and in the seventh round with the 220th pick overall, another wide receiver, KJ Hill, out of Ohio State. I don't disagree with the receiver picks. I don't disagree with getting Herbert weapons, but I disagree with not protecting the kid, and I disagree with the fact that you're gonna leave him uh, pretty much out to the wolves. If he's not able to, it's kind of the same thing with Drew Lock here. Great quarterbacks can only be so great if they can be upright, and I mean we saw it last year with Philip Rivers. We saw it in 2015 when the Broncos dragged Peyton Manning across the finish line for the Super Bowl championship because the offensive line was so porous and they didn't protect, arguably, in my opinion, uh, the greatest quarterback, but arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So at the end of the day, guys, again, I could be wrong. Charger fans, if you exist, let me know. if you do exist and you disagree with my grading process, go ahead and drop a comment and let me know why. If you exist and you do like my grading process and you agree, drop a like. And if you like the platform idea, go ahead and drop the trifecta. That's a like, a subscribe, and a comment. So, again, thank you to everyone who watched, and thank you to everyone who has watched and is watching. I appreciate you all. And anyone who isn't, I appreciate you too. Thank you.